Colin Kaepernick has filed a grievance under the NFL's collective bargaining agreement, a further escalation in his tense relationship with the league that began with his refusal to stand for the playing of the national anthem in protest of the treatment of racial injustice in the United States. What does Colin Kaepernick allege in his case? Kaepernick alleges that the 32 NFL owners have colluded or entered into a prohibited agreement with either another club or the league to not sign him to a contract this season. Interestingly, the grievance was filed directly by Kaepernick's attorney, Mark Garrigus, and not through the NFL Players Association. The NFLPA appears to be staying on the sidelines, even though a victory by Kaepernick could well be a victory for all NFL players. What is collusion? The NFL's collective bargaining agreement specifically forbids collusion, which is defined as a club entering into any agreement, express or implied, with any other club or the league to not sign any particular player. What chance does Kaepernick have of winning? Kaepernick's chances will rely heavily on any potential evidence available to prove collusion. In a private proceeding before an independent arbitrator, not a court, Kaepernick will bear the burden of demonstrating by a clear preponderance of evidence that there was a forbidden agreement between NFL teams and/or the league office that amounted to collusion and that the forbidden agreement caused him economic harm. The provision that governs the proceeding in the NFL collective bargaining agreement explains that the failure of a club to offer him a contract shall not alone be enough to prove collusion, but that other evidence indicating there was collusion is needed. In light of this legal standard, for Kaepernick to succeed in his case, he will almost certainly need to present compelling objective evidence in the form of written communications between NFL teams and/or the league that there was an agreement between them not to sign him. Testimony from a surprise objective witness that there was an agreement, either express or implied, could also be persuasive. The arbitrator could order the NFL to produce documents that Kaepernick seeks, including the type of written communications between teams and the league that could help win him the case if such written communications exist. Kaepernick could also seek to depose or examine potential key witnesses under oath from the NFL clubs or the league office. If he does win, he could receive millions in compensation. Whether he wins may largely depend on whether emails, texts, or other materials exist that could help Kaepernick to prove that there was indeed an agreement not to sign him. Given Kaepernick's obvious talents and the rash of injuries to starting quarterbacks in the NFL, the existence of such evidence would not be surprising. Is it realistic this will win him a place back in the league? Kaepernick may never play in the league again, since no team can be forced to sign a player, but if he prevails, the symbolism of such a victory would be long-lasting in the American sports landscape. If this won't win him back his job, why is he taking this step? Kaepernick may be attempting to shift the public discourse away from a more recent discussion centered around patriotism and respect for the flag to the fundamental issue that motivated his protests initially, justice. While the grievance is probably not a clear path to resuming his playing career, the NFL has shown little willingness to engage Kaepernick on the subject, making an escalation such as this a probable outcome. Paul Green is the founding attorney at Global Sports Advocates. He represents athletes in sports arbitrations globally and teaches sports law at the University of Maine School of Law. Joshua Gordon is the founding consultant at the Sports Conflict Institute. He advises on strategy and complex disputes in sports and teaches legal aspects of sports business at the University of Oregon Lundquist College of Business.